In today's video, I'm going to be talking about TikTok and specifically whether you should build a personal brand, right, off of your name on TikTok, or you should build a brand based on the business that you're running, especially if you have multiple businesses. What should you do on TikTok? Let's dive in. TikTok has become my platform of choice for a lot of reasons. One, it is by far the leading edge in social media video content today. So what I mean by that is that, yes, there's Instagram Reels. Instagram has stories, which actually a little funny. Now TikTok has stories. So they did copycat a little bit. Those are all based off of TikTok. TikTok started that 15-second to 60-second video format. They kind of were the forefront of that, and then other people have started to, other platforms have started to copy that. We have Facebook stories, obviously. It's likely that Facebook will probably incorporate some kind of Reels style, TikTok style thing that they will do on their feeds as well, because more and more people are wanting that short form video content. Because let's be honest, it's a lot more engaging. And I know a lot of people are not on TikTok, but they are over on Reels. And honestly, TikTok is the leading edge of that type of content. So again, YouTube Shorts is out there, right? There's other places, there's other platforms. I haven't been on Twitter in forever, but maybe someday Twitter will get with it. But for the most part, TikTok is the one leading the trends. People are primarily creating content for TikTok and then putting it onto those other platforms or repurposing it for that, as opposed to the other way around. Either you only create content for, let's say, Instagram Reels because you're not on TikTok at all, or if you're on both platforms, you create for TikTok, see, it's backwards. You create for TikTok and then repurpose to Reels. And so what I mean by that is that it's really important to understand why that platform works that way, why short form video is so important, and to kind of get with the times. So hopefully you guys are considering getting onto TikTok. And in general, we're going to lead with best practices based on TikTok, since again, that's where a lot of this comes from. That's like the head umbrella of this style of content. And you can follow those best practices across other platforms that do have short form video content. For me, I struggle to keep up with social media just as me on the accounts that I have. Nonetheless, multiple other accounts. In fact, what typically happens to me, and that doesn't mean it would happen to you, but I would say probably true for most people, is that I tend to forget the other one exists from time to time. And then I'm like, oh shoot, I have not been logged into that other account in a while. I should probably get back there. Now, if you have a social media manager, especially if you have different social media managers for each company, this advice does not apply. If you are hiring someone to create or at least consistently post your content, if that person is reminding you that, hey, we're running out of content for this side of your business and we need more content, right? Then you could have two. But also, starting two totally from scratch right out of the gate is going to be a challenge. So I always suggest starting with the one that is either A, the easiest for you to start, meaning it just makes the most sense. It's the one you can quickly think of the most content for, or B, the one that is the most valuable for your business. So if business A can create content and consistently produce $100 a month, but business B can create content, and because it's a higher ticket business, consistently produce $10,000 a month, I would suggest that you two first start with business B, the one that's going to create more money, more value, if that's something that you're capable of doing, right? So typically the higher ticket business is going to be the one that you want to create first, if you are going to create two. There's also kind of a little third option. And the third option is that instead of creating branded TikToks or branded Instagram pages or whatever, right? Meaning I could have one that is notable leader. I could have one for net more wealth. I can have one for all these different Turner Group, which is my husband's business. So instead of creating all those business branded TikToks, I create, and this is what I have Chantelle Turner, right? I think it's Chantelle P. Turner. Neither here nor there. I have my name. I am the brand on TikTok. Now this is, there's some good and some bad to this. The good is that I can now fill that content bucket in so many different ways. I can create content about me personally. I can talk about my family, talk about my daughter, and you can do this as a business brand, just maybe a little bit more reserved. But I can also talk about all of my different businesses. I don't have to be niched. okay? I can talk about all the different things. Or I can, the other advantage, right, is that I now have only one thing to manage, a lot less stress, a lot less headache than trying to manage multiple different TikToks. So you can log in and log out very easily, like switch between them, but it's still a lot of great. And the truth is, especially when you're launching a TikTok for growth, you need to be creating 3 to 5 pieces of content a day. Now, that's already a lot. Now go and create those 3 to 5 pieces of content for 2 different brands or for 3 different brands. It gets really hard. And now you're trying to grow followers on multiple different pages. TikTok is also restrictive in that you can't do a lot on TikTok as far as like a marketer until you reach 1,000 followers, which is a lot. It's also not that much because people hit that follow button pretty quick on TikTok. So it's not that hard to get to 1,000 followers, but you can't have a link in your bio. You can't go live on TikTok until you hit that 1,000 followers. So it's really important that you understand all of those options when you're trying to decide, am I gonna create one or am I gonna create multiple? Now, the downside of having that personal brand, right? Those are the upsides, okay? You're gonna be able to grow one brand to 1,000 followers faster, get you more freedom, more flexibility, get your link up there, else, yay. But the downsides of that are that your audience is going to be more broad. You are going to be branded from a personal standpoint, so it can make the sellability of certain things more challenging. The cool thing is that when it comes to social media, most of the time you're not gonna sell your social media. Although if you ever wanted to sell your business down the road, you wouldn't have that social media asset to sell along with it. And the list and the social media following can be very valuable. In fact, it's one of the most valuable pieces when a business is evaluated for valuation is that list. And that list used to just be your email list, or even way back in the day, it would be like the name and mailing address, right? It might be the phone number of those contacts. But nowadays, the list also includes your followers. A brand, right? An actual brand, not a person, but a brand. Let's say a computer chip company, okay? We're just gonna, doesn't matter. A computer chip company named Smart Chips. Made it up, okay? So Smart Chips, let's say they're ready to sell their company. And the Smart Chips social media page on TikTok has 500,000 followers, and their Smart Chips social media page over on Instagram has 100,000 followers. That's an asset that now when Apple maybe wants to buy Smart Chips, okay, they can purchase that asset and all of those followers. It goes with Smart Chips. It's all based on the chip, right? If, on the other hand, Chantelle Turner owns Smart Chips, again, this is all hypothetical, but if I own Smart Chips and I have branded my social media as me, and I have 1 million followers on TikTok, and I sell Smart Chips to Apple, well, I can't sell Chantelle Turner to Apple. That's me. I'm the brand there. Even if I talk about Smart Chips on a daily basis, even if it's like a frequent occurrence, that is following me, not the company. And so the downside of that is that you don't necessarily have that sellable asset if you plan to sell your business down the road. So it's something to think about. I also wouldn't let it hold you back from creating a personal brand, because it's a lot easier to, especially on a platform like TikTok, to create as a personal brand than it is to create as a business. TikTok is really supportive of small businesses. So if you do create as a business name, you just want to be really clear that like you're not a big corporation, you're a small business, you're the owner. Let them get to know you personally, and then you can create that one side of the business. If you've got to, right? Again, we're going with the more profitable or the one you can create the most content for, the easiest to get you started, to get you learning, to get you understanding, and then we'll roll into the other one down the road if you want to. Or again, you can create it from a personal side. From a personal side, it also doesn't mean that it has to be your personal name. It could just be a handle that's like fun and catchy and might be like a representation of your personality. So while I chose Chantelle P. Turner for my handle on TikTok, because that is my handle across social media platforms, so it makes me more searchable. But I see people that are, you know, Mama Bear 579 and whatever, right? And they can still build a really big following. But also it can be really helpful if you are going to have kind of you as a person, me as the overarching like presence of the TikTok, or of even on Instagram, do the same thing. it can be helpful to be your name. So some examples of this might be Elise Myers. Elise Myers, she's Elise Myers on TikTok. Everyone knows who she is. And she got really famous for this story about a date that she went on with a guy that ordered 100 tacos at Taco Bell and made her pay for them. She blew up because of that one video. But she's also a singer. She's also a musician. She loves to cook. She also is a great storyteller. And she has all these different content buckets on TikTok where she talks about her anxieties, her personal struggles with anxiety. She does all of these different angles that all make up who she is, because we are all a combination of things. I am a business owner and a mom and a horse lover, and one of my hobbies is skiing, and I love to travel. I love to eat, right? I'm a foodie. I love a good craft cocktail. All of those things I like a good glass of wine. Those are all sides of me. And so the cool thing about being Chantelle Paige Turner on TikTok, or I think it's just a P, Chantelle P Turner, it didn't fit, on TikTok, is that I can highlight all those different aspects of me. And in conjunction with that, I can talk about the multitude of businesses that I own and that I may own in the future. And what's really cool about that is that means that I don't have to keep trying to, let's say I start a new business. I don't have to go now relaunch a whole new social media page and following and all of that. And what's great in this is that TikTok is very smart about who they serve your content to. So if you are good at hashtagging, if your content is clear about who it should be reaching, you might have 500,000 followers, and some might follow you because of your cooking content. And some might follow you because they love a good craft cocktail. And some might follow you because they're also into the sport that you play. And some might follow you for X business or Y business or Z business, doesn't matter. TikTok will primarily show your content to the right people at the right time. Doesn't mean that the wrong people won't see it, but more of the right of your followers. So you can kind of look at your followers as like a whole big old bucket of people. And there's inside that bucket, there might be 5 subsets of people that follow you, right? There's the foodies and the drinkers and there's all these people in this bucket. And so when I post a video about food, TikTok's gonna go, ooh, inside Chantelle's 100,000 follower bucket, these are the foodies. We're gonna serve this to the foodie portion of this bucket first. They probably want this content. And then it might expand out. And the cool thing about that is that while my business content might not specifically be for my foodie people, there might be some people in the foodie bucket that are interested in the business side of what I do. And so as they start to see that content or scroll my page because they've seen other videos from me, they might be interested in my video. So I get a lot of crossover. But I also don't tend to annoy them because TikTok's good about filtering out the content that you don't want to see. So that's the difference with that platform versus other platforms. On something like Facebook, if I'm following you on Facebook, I am going to see the things that you post. Most of the time, we know it's not always true. Facebook feed is a little lacking, but I'm gonna see what you post, whether that's a political rant, whether that's a food video, whether that's about your kids' sports activity, whatever. I'm gonna see all of that in my newsfeed. And it may turn me off to you, or it may confuse me with you if you're talking about multiple businesses. On TikTok, TikTok's more concerned with serving each person the content that is ideal for them to see. Their goal is to keep you sucked into that platform for as long as possible. And they do that by making sure that you are served the best content that you tell them you're interested in at any given moment. And that algorithm is always changing, always updating to figure out what it is that you're interested in right now. So if you're scrolling TikTok and you're watching the full length of food videos, you watch the whole thing, you comment on it, maybe you watch it twice, you read the recipe, right? You go to their page, like you're really interacting with it. All of a sudden your feed, every third video is gonna be food because TikTok's like, you want food? Here you go, food, food, food. And then finally, after a little while, maybe 20 minutes, you're like, okay, TikTok, I have seen so many food videos. I am just not interested in food at the moment. And you start kind of scrolling past them a little bit faster. You don't watch them all the way through anymore. TikTok's like, oh, you don't really want food anymore. What do you want next? Right? And then they kind of think about like all of the things, not they, it's an algorithm, but right? Computers are smart. So it's like Chantelle's also interested in comedy. Let's throw a couple pieces of comedy into her feed and see if she wants to see that right now. And then comedy pops in and I laugh and I watch the whole thing and I'm like, oh yeah, that's great. And TikTok's like, oh, we gotcha. Comedy? Comedy is what you want right now? And they give you the next piece of comedy, right? And that's how it's going to be serving you. And so since that's how it serves you, that's how it helps you serve your audience. Just because someone's following you does not mean they will see all of your content. They will most likely see the pieces of your content that are most relevant to them based on what the algorithm knows about them. So they will see those key pieces of your content. And so what all of that means, because I feel like I've been incredibly long-winded, what all of that means is that you can be you on TikTok. You can have a personal brand and you can have multiple businesses and you can talk about them. And occasionally you can even do a video where you bridge them. Hey, I'm in HR. Here's one of the things that like got me into that first, but I'm also a mom. And when I had my baby, I really got concerned about the quality of products and what was in the products that she was interacting with. And so I started focusing on that as well. And that's why as a successful, driven entrepreneur and a mom, I have 2 businesses. So you can follow for one, you can follow for the other, you can follow for both. And sometimes I'm gonna post content about this, sometimes I'm gonna post content on that. Now the follow-up question to that is how does that work with calls to action, link in bio, all that kind of stuff. Now, before we go any further, I want you to go ahead and like this video, drop a comment below if you are finding this valuable and helpful, and let me know, are you currently in the bucket of building yourself a personal brand, or are you going to build a brand for your business? So again, the really fun, kind of cool part about TikTok that's a little outside the realm of what we typically understand for marketing and is very different than most other platforms is the link in bio. Okay, so this is, for those that don't know, if you're on Instagram, it's very similar, but for those that don't know, on TikTok, when somebody clicks on your face, you have a little, image of you, and they click on your image, whatever that is, for me, it's my face. When they click on it, it takes them to your bio, and your bio is going to be a slightly larger of that picture, a little excerpt that you can type out that kind of helps people identify who you are or why they should be interested in you. You can put a link, you can have links in there to some other social media, and that's basically it. It's pretty simple. So right in there, you'll have your link that goes to a website. Now, some people, especially if you are branding your TikTok, meaning if I'm branding as like tax advisor, what was our Smart Chips? Smart Chips is what we went there earlier. We'll stick with that same. Okay, so let's say I'm creating my TikTok for Smart Chips. Then I might have like smartchips.com might be the link in my bio, or it might be some kind of lander page for Smart Chips, right? Taking you directly to the page. This is primarily gonna be used especially for those people that are in the physical product space, so in the e-com space. If you're in e-commerce, physical product sales, this is where you'll link directly to your page where people can scroll the products that you have to offer and purchase from you. I see this from candle makers and swimsuit brands and sunglass brands and watch brands and all of that. Makes the most sense, right? It's not really complicated, okay? And occasionally you might have, sometimes where you would drop a link to a specific thing. I follow a wig maker. Again, it goes right to her product page. From a physical product standpoint, this makes so much sense if you sell a physical product. If you don't, if you sell any kind of digital product, digital service, phone call, marketing, anything like that, and if you sell any kind of affiliate product, even if that affiliate product is digital, if you are not the sole owner of all the products that come from that company, you're going to want to do it the other way. And the other way is by having a link tree. Now, Linktree itself is a company that has made it's become a term. So it's kind of like when somebody says, hey, can I get a Kleenex? And they mean a tissue because Kleenex is the brand name that has just become associated with tissues. Linktree, we're gonna use in the same facet. So while you could use Linktree, the actual company, to create this type of landing page, I don't. I use ClickFunnels. You could use WordPress. You can use your site built on GoDaddy. You can use Go High Level. I have another one on Go High Level. Like any Weebly or whatever it's called. It doesn't matter. Any website builder can become this landing page that is like a Linktree. And essentially what that is a very simply formatted page that has multiple buttons or calls to action on it. And you might say, Chantelle, that goes against everything I've ever learned in marketing. In marketing, we have one place that people go, and that is true. We do, and we want to be able to direct, right? That's the point of a funnel, and I talk about that a lot. We want to be able to direct the flow of where someone's going. But the difference here is that on TikTok, people are used to getting to that link tree, seeing all those different options and looking for the specific one they want. This is totally normal. It is the standard on that platform. So it can go outside these marketing rules. And the way that we get past that a little bit is you'll say in that video, or if you're live, you can say, hey, to learn more about my HR business, to learn more about this specific piece of my business, look for whatever you titled that button in my bio, right? Link in bio, or right now link in bio is a hit or miss. We could get into a whole whether or not to say that video another time, but you're gonna tell them what they're looking for. Hey, if you go to that thing in my profile, you can actually find a button that's going to say, learn more about my HR services. Click that one and I'll see you on the other side. And then they just go and they look for the one that says the thing you told them it would say. It's very simple. If you make your buttons really clear and concise about what each one of them is, works great. Let's say you sell affiliate products. You have to have multiple links. You have to have multiple buttons because you sell multiple products. So you might have like my Amazon finds, my DHgate finds, my favorite shoes, right? Workout supplements, whatever it is, the things that make clear sense. So when somebody watches your video where you talk about this meal plan and these supplements that you're taking that you absolutely love, then they're gonna be able to click through and go, ooh, I wanted those supplements. Okay, it's not Amazon, it's not DHgate, it's not the shoes, it's not the sunglasses. Boom, supplements, click over to that page. So you can very easily have yourself as a brand and talk about both sides of your business and then have those in your bio, in your link, right? As set up kind of like a link tree where people can decide where they want to click. And again, some people may overlap. For anyone out there, especially if you're considering getting onto TikTok or you're trying to figure out, how do I do it? What if I'm not really solid in the business that I'm doing right now? I might change businesses in the future. If that's you, I highly recommend building a personal brand, something that is based around you, who you are, your personality. Let people follow you for that, and then incorporate the different assets of your life, aspects of your life, right? Incorporate those so that you will have a bucket of people that is not niched, and on TikTok specifically, that is okay. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more content just like this, where I help you build your next business online, leveraging the power of social media and becoming that notable leader in your niche.